Michael Scott is arguably one of the most famous bosses on TV, but his practices are a little suspect at times. Let's watch this clip together and see what he has to say. Here we go.
Of business. Mental is a part of the word. I have underlined it. Because you're mental, if you don't have a good time, you have to enjoy it.
Well, the fun is in it.
Fundamental.
Oh, right.
Get out. Yes, so it all starts with a handshake, but you can't just go right to the selling. You need small talk. What topics can you use for small talk?
Golf, stock market, Dave Matthews.
Yes, what else?
Small things, peas, ball bearings, dimes.
Yes, that is my favorite part right there. Small ball bearings would be a great thing to bring up in your first sales conversation.
No.
The weekend.
Yeah, that's good. Come on up. Meredith, come up here. Let's do a little something. So Meredith and I have just started conversing, and I will say, so Meredith, how was your weekend? What did you do?
Well, I caught my son taking a dump on the upper part of the toilet.
All right.
He calls it an upper decker.
Okay.
She's so gross. Okay. All right, well, let's keep going.
About
He's
business I
falling
could fill a
apart.
book with.
Then do it.
What?
Write a book.
The Fundamentals of Business by Michael Scott. Over 1 billion sold. More than the Bible.
Okay, wait. So this is his book. I can't wait to hear what he's going to put in it. And he's going to sell more copies than the Bible. So let's see.
Surprised. Chapter 1. The businessman. Daryl, I would like to give you.
Let me just stop for a second because I can totally relate to this writer's block, right? Like you're sitting in a meeting and you get this amazing idea. You're like, oh, this is the next book. You write a few things down, you share it with a friend. Your friend's like, oh yeah, that you're gonna kill it with that book. And then you go into your office by yourself and all of a sudden it's like all the ideas have just stopped. Or all of a sudden you realize that it's actually a terrible, terrible idea for a book. Do not write it.
The only copy of Somehow I Manage, unfinished. If there's anybody here who can finish it, it's you.
That's sweet, Mike. Let's see here. Here's a chapter called Gum with one sentence. Everybody likes the guy who offers them a stick of gum.
That's true. There are 10 rules of business that you need to learn. Number 1, you need to play to win, but you also have to win to play.
Play to win and win to play. That feels super profound, I think, when he's saying it out loud, and I have no idea what he's talking about. So let's see if he's going to tell us more. And by the way, he's talking to B.J. Novak, right? I think that's that guy's name, who actually did write a book. He wrote one of my favorite books that I read to my son.
Got it. And I will give you the rest of the 10 at lunch. So, you want to start a business. How do you start? What do you need? Well, first of all, you need a building. And secondly,
We all know you don't need a building, especially post-COVID. In fact, buildings were very expensive for a lot of people who are no longer in those buildings and are still paying for them. So I'm sorry, Michael, these poor kids that you're teaching, I hope they didn't write that down.
you need supply. You need something to sell. Now, this could be anything. It could be a thingamajig, or a whoozy-whatsy, or a whatchamacallit. Now, you need to sell those in order to have a payday. And if you sell enough of them, you will make.
Okay, well, let's go back to all of his ideas on what to sell. If all of the business owners I know started out without an idea of what they were going to sell, they definitely wouldn't be in business anymore. So this is hilarious in the sense of, this is hilarious in the sense of Michael just saying nonsense. I don't think he has said anything that's meaningful yet. And yet these kids are taking notes.
Make a 100 grand.
This is probably a chapter in his book called The Candy Bar Analogies and How to Teach Them.
Satisfied? Hey, boss. I didn't know you were coming in today.
What's going on here?
I am glad that you asked. Listen up, everybody. In the last year, we have lost 7 clients to the big chains. These gift baskets are a ticket back into their lives. We are going to show up at these businesses unannounced, and we are going to win them back.
With gift baskets?
With peanut brittle, with macadamia nut cookies, with chocolate turtles, with raspberry jam, and a little bit of fat and salt. Because you know what? That's what people like. Ever since I was a kid.
Okay. That's an interesting idea to go back to past clients and offer them a gift. I mean, it could be helpful, but I think it would really matter what the delivery is, right? What are you bringing? Why are you bringing it? So it doesn't look desperate. Like, I think bringing these big baskets into clients who have fired you does look a little desperate, and I'm not quite sure how that would be received or if that would be a good strategy. I love to give gifts, though. We give gifts to our clients all the time. We give them gifts to celebrate them. We give them gifts when they onboard with us. Gifts are great, but I think you have to think about the context in which you give the gift.
People have been telling me that I can't do things. You can't be on the team. You can't move on to second grade. Well, now they're telling me that I can't win back clients using old-fashioned business methods. We'll see about that.
Let's see.
And FYI, I eventually aced second grade, and I was the biggest kid in class. Yes, I was the first one out. And yes, I've heard women and children first. But we do not employ children. We are not a sweatshop, thankfully. And women are equal in the workplace by law. So I let them out first. I have a lawsuit on my hands. Another rule of business is being able to adapt to different situations. Yeah? Adapt, react, readapt, apt. Right? That's rule number 2. The most sacred thing I do is care and provide for my workers, my family. I give them money. I give them food. Not directly, but through the money. I heal them. Today, I am in charge of picking a great new healthcare plan, right? That's what this is.
All right, well, I definitely agree with Michael that you have to care about your employees and you have to show you care. I'm not sure that receiving a paycheck is showing me or is showing an employee that you care, because that's kind of an expectation. And in this case too, like giving them, he's not really healing them through his healthcare. So I love how he feels like this is being super generous. But people do need to know that you care, and it has to be authentic. And it's one of the things that you can't really fake, right? You can't fake that you care about your employees. So how could you show them? Well, listening, like really listening to what's going on with them. Like when someone feels heard, that can be a way that they're going to feel more connected to you, and they're going to be more willing to share in the future, especially if you either take action on what they've shared or you keep it confidential if that's what they've asked you to do. But developing trust by showing that you care is really important. A long time ago, many moons ago, when I was president of the IT company, I loved my team. I love all the teams I've ever worked with. But one of the things I did love to do was to take ice cream sandwiches around to everyone, like just in the middle of the day, like a random day. You know, it's not hard to go get ice cream sandwiches, but there was something about handing someone an ice cream sandwich. And we might be adults, but we're still big kids at heart. And the smiles on their faces, like I'll never forget it. And I would think later, I'd be like, it was just an ice cream sandwich. But it wasn't just the ice cream sandwich. It was me taking the time to connect with them, to see them, and to hear what's going on in their life right now.
Does that make me their doctor? Yes, in a way. Yeah, like a specialist.
Did you forget something? What happened to you guys?
Give it back. The gift basket. Give it back.
What is this?
It's real simple. If you don't appreciate what we do, then give us back our basket.
Maybe you should leave.
So this is exactly where the gift basket can go wrong, because clearly this company no longer wanted to do business with them, nor did they want the gift basket. And the worst thing you could do is go back and ask for it back. But again, like we're hanging out with Michael Scott today, right? And Michael Scott's business lessons aren't sound. In fact, I'd probably do the opposite of everything that Michael suggested, with the exception of the caring part. Maybe not in the context of how he cares, but everything that he said, I don't know. It definitely has a lot of, we'll call them unbusiness lessons, if that's a word. We'll call them unbusiness lessons. So if you enjoyed hanging out and listening to me react to this video, stick with me, because next up, I'm gonna react to The Pursuit of Happyness. And remember, your 2X is waiting for you too.